Have you ever looked at a family and assumed everything was perfect, only to discover a hidden darkness beneath the surface? The Watts family of Frederick, Colorado, appeared to be the embodiment of the American dream. A loving couple, two beautiful daughters, and a third child on the way. But beneath the carefully curated social media posts and smiling photos, uh, a sinister story was unfolding. Uh, Shanann Watts was a devoted mother and wife, constantly sharing glimpses of her idyllic life online. She and her husband, Chris, often featured their daughters, 4-year-old Bella and 3-year-old Celeste, in their posts. It seemed like a picture perfect existence, but cracks were beginning to form. In the summer of 2018, Shanann and Chris were facing financial difficulties despite both working. Um, they were struggling to keep up with mortgage payments, car loans, um, and mounting debt. Uh, um, Adding to their stress, Chris had begun an affair with a coworker, Nicole Kessinger. He spent nights away from home, fueling Shanann's suspicions and eroding their already strained marriage. Uh, but on August 13th, 2018, Shan disappeared along with Bella and Celeste. Chris reported them missing, pleading for their safe return in televised interviews. Uh, he claimed they had gone for a play date and never came home. Uh, but his story was riddled with inconsistencies, and investigators quickly began to suspect foul play as the search intensified. Chris's lies unraveled, and he confessed to having an affair and admitted that Shanann had confronted him about it on the morning of her disappearance. And he claimed the argument escalated, and in a moment of rage, he strangled her in uh, their bed. That he came sit out. The details that followed were chilling. He drove Shanann's body to a remote oil site where he worked, and then, in an act of unimaginable cruelty, smothered his two young daughters. He buried Shanann in a shallow grave and concealed the girls' bodies in oil drums. The discovery of the bodies sent shockwaves through the nation. Um, Chris Watts was arrested and charged with multiple counts of murder. During his trial, he attempted to portray himself as a victim of circumstance, but his lies were exposed, and he was ultimately sentenced to 5 life sentences without the possibility of parole. Even behind bars, the story didn't end. Watts began corresponding with other inmates and even pursued relationships while incarcerated. Remarkably, he's reportedly planning to marry again, a prospect that has understandably caused outrage and pain for the families of his victims. It's a truly disturbing case, and a stark reminder that appearances can be deceiving. And it begs the question, what could have driven a man to commit such it seems the unraveling of Chris Watts wasn't a sudden explosion, but a slow descent into deception and darkness, fueled by financial strain, infidelity, and a desperate attempt to control his own life, making money and U-boats. Um, they say you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family. Chris Watts clearly didn't like his family very much. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.